Hey y'all, welcome back. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, 2024, and I'm back for the second iteration here of my mid-June garden update. A couple days ago, I released my lower level in-ground garden update. So if you wanted to check that out, it should be my second most recent video behind this one. But yeah, I wanted to show the potted stuff that I have here, which is much more exotic and exciting than the stuff that I have down in the ground. All of these things that you're going to see here today were overwintered in my house, either on my upstairs, like in my work office, or on my lower level, just around the house, dining room, things like that, family room, or in my basement. Most of them were in my basement. Cold and dark basement. I do have some grow lights down there, and I do run fans for about 18 hours a day on there as well. But yeah, nothing else in particular I do to them. I've just learned over the years that some do better in the basement than others, and I think I've got things here that pretty much all do well inside, and anything that doesn't do well I've pretty much have destroyed at this point. So yeah, so I found a good rhythm of what works and just roll with that. But yeah, we'll take a look at everything. Enough of me talking about the winterization. Let's just look at some stuff here. So we've got two giant white birds of paradise right here. This was actually in a 4-pack, and you'll see one of the other 4 that I kind of removed from a pack of 4 and separated. Here we've got a cat palm. I actually got this for free. Unfortunately, I got it from a funeral, like where they bring in, actually this one too, which I think is a type of cordyline, but I'm not exactly sure. But I got these both free from a funeral, like where they have like the really, like pretty plantings that people will buy for you to show support, and really expensive stuff, and they didn't want them. So I said, I will certainly take them, and take care of them. So yeah, cat palm, and like I said, I think like a cordyline there, but I'm not exactly sure. And then I got my big elephant ear, also got for free a couple years ago from the city of Cincinnati in their plantings down at Fountain Square. And this thing is taken off. This thing actually does really well inside. I was kind of surprised because when I got it, I actually had to cut all the leaves off of it, and I just had this trunk, or kind of like this section, and it just completely exploded. And this thing's doing really well. I just potted it up into the biggest pot that I have. Look at the size of the trunk on this though. I mean, that's really crazy for an elephant ear living inside half the year. And then I've got a Pygmy Date, Phoenix Robellini, a 3-pack. This thing does really, really well inside, outside, full sun, shade. Really, really strong and tough plant for me, and it does really well. And so yeah, pretty tropical looking, at least for here on my deck. I did buy that, and then also I did buy the giant white bird a couple years ago. I'm going to try to include what I've bought and not. And then over in this section, let's see here, we've got one of my favorite palms, and unfortunately for me, it just doesn't do too well. I think I might actually need to repot it and just get some fresh soil. Is the Areca palm. This particular one is probably the best frond to review, but yeah, so Areca, I've done so much bad to this palm. I let it get too cold, and then it got inundated with mealybugs, which it still has a mealybug problem. It just can't seem to kick it, but it completely defoliated last winter, and it's come all the way back. Just wish I could get more out of it, but that's Areca Dipsis lutescens. I've got a Schlifera here, which is huge. It's above my head. It's probably close to 6.5 feet tall. I'm trying to train it to grow up instead of out. I'm having success, but I don't know if I can take off these supports yet. And I got this one for free. Oh, I bought the Eureka. I got this one for free also from the city of Cincinnati a couple years ago. They were just getting rid of them. This, which I believe is like a rubber plant or a ficus or some sort of fig or something. I don't know. It was also a freebie from that same funeral this past February. So it's doing pretty good right now. Extremely tropical looking. Here is a Livingstone chinensis Chinese fan palm. Got this one for $7 at Kroger a couple years ago in like October when they were trying to get rid of it, all their tropicals outside. I think it's got about 8 or 9 trunks in there. Obviously, that's not how these things grow, but hey, for $7, it does pretty good. You got to be really careful about burning up these leaflets or these fronds. They are extremely thin, and if you do not properly acclimate this, it will get defoliated quickly, and that has happened to me on this one. We've got a little kiwi cordyline here. I bought this one at full price a couple years ago. It does pretty good. This is a big carrier though of my mealy bugs, so I really have to stay on top of that, especially when I take it into the basement in October. So there's that. We'll come over here to the next section, which is probably the best and most beautiful and just overall strong plant that I have, which is my Trachycarpus fortuna Chinese windmill palm. It's almost 6 feet tall. The trunk is getting really thick on it. I was just admiring it the other day for being a potted plant that's inside half the year. I mean, it is really getting some serious growth on it. Eventually, one of these years, I'm probably gonna have to plant it in the ground, and hopefully by then I just have more knowledge and information on running winterized palms. But this thing has done so well for me, inside, outside, no matter where, sun, full sun. It hardly gets any sun burn on it. Just a great palm. Also the first tropical I ever bought here, so it holds a special place in my heart. And over here was the third of the 4-pack of giant white birds, and then another cordyline there that I got for free from the city of Cincinnati. It does okay. The basement really does a number on this one, and it's just barely starting to come back online. So I wouldn't say it does great, but oh well, it's free. It's really pretty easy to take care of. It just doesn't look great. And then here was a freebie I dug out of Central Florida probably about 3 years ago as a strap leaf. I thought it was Washingtonia robusta. I thought it was a Mexican fan palm with just that one strap leaf. And here a couple years later, turns out it's some sort of a phoenix. So yeah, and it's growing pretty quickly now. I just repotted it, and it's growing pretty quickly now. So I don't know if it's a hybrid or which particular species it is. If it is, if you know, let me know. But yeah, it's doing pretty good, and for free. Hey, can't beat it. And then I've got 3 Majesty palms here that I really did not do too well to them a couple years ago, trying to get mealy bugs off of them, and I let them out in the cold too long. But they're doing okay now. But the leaves, or the leaflets I should say, are really neon yellow, and some are worse than others. Like here's where it's supposed to be dark green, but yeah, there's 3 of them in here, and I don't know, they probably need to be replanted and given more nutrition. But I just kind of stick them over here in the quarter. But yeah, that's where we stand, guys. On all that, here's just a top overlook at my in-ground garden there. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions or if I've missed anything of a particular note. But yeah, I would say the windmill is definitely probably, to me, the most beautiful thing that I have, just because of it's just so tried and true, and it's just a tough plant. But that's where we stand, guys, for the potted garden. Take care, everybody.